To Congressman Adam Smith here, I think about what is actually what Trump wants, which is some kind of deal over Greenland and others. Why would those countries not make it?
Well, understand something.
You don't think? Can we agree that America would be better with Greenland?
I don't, okay? Because Greenland, because it's part of NATO, which we belong to NATO, we can do whatever we want with Greenland. We have a military base on Greenland.
We can't kick the Chinese out.
I visited. Absolutely, we can kick the Chinese out. We can kick the Chinese out just as easily as part of NATO as we can on our own. We don't have to detonate the concept of sovereignty. We have a treaty with Greenland that allows us to put whatever military bases, whatever military forces we want on Greenland. So we don't need to take it to defend it against it. And by the way, China and Russia are not threatening to take Greenland. Russia is absolutely threatening to take Ukraine. And Trump consistently undermines the alliance that's trying to protect Ukraine.
I'm glad you brought up Ukraine, because there is this whole idea that the one thing that would make Vladimir Putin more happy than anything is us taking Greenland, and the Europeans keep putting Ukraine out there is the only issue that matters. This was the Treasury Secretary today talking about how the Europeans are dealing with Ukraine. Take a listen.
Just to be clear, that we have Europe buying Russian oil still, 4 years later, they are financing the war against themselves.
General, back with us now. At some level, what is it going to have to happen for the Europeans to actually change?
Well, first, Leland, I'd like to answer the question that you asked me before the burp in the internet there, and say this. I do believe that the whole discussion of Greenland has been a real change for the current set of, as you said, language and approach that Europe's taking. Just before the issue of Greenland, remember, Germany and France were leading a very strong push to support Ukraine. And there was a strong a feeling of cooperation on how we would move forward on Ukraine. But now that we have this latest issue, you see Europe retrenching a little bit and using the language which you took offense with. What is it going to take for the Europeans to really change? I believe they are already doing that to a certain degree. The Deutschland, Germany, is beginning to ramp up its spending and its investment, and that will make all the difference in the world. You know the size of that economy, and if they spend the amount that they say they're going to spend, things will begin to change. And even though France's military is modest in comparison to some, they are starting to invest as well. And when those two do, old NATO comes with them. New NATO already has the right idea.
Estonia, Latvia, they're all spending big money. General, I promised the congressman the last 30 seconds, which has to be 30 seconds. Yeah.
No, I think we have to look at the broader picture here. Where does this alliance go? And I think looking at the past and saying Europe's never done anything for us, again, after 1,000 years of them fighting each other, we didn't want them armed. We set that deal. Now that the deal is changing, as the general pointed out, they are stepping up. They've spent more money per capita defending Ukraine than we have, all right? So there is a change in that alliance. I don't think we should detonate it. I think we should change it and update it. And threatening the sovereignty of one of our NATO partners will detonate it, not update it.
Probably what my mother would say, you get more bees with honey than you do with vinegar.
All right, fair enough, Leland. Thank you.
Good to see you, Congressman. Thank you. President Trump spends almost 2 hours touting his successful first year. So why do Americans